Welcome back to your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Yanks clinch, baby. They are in the playoffs. Their 8th trip in the past 9 seasons. Congrats to the team. Congrats to Boone, Cashman, everyone. I mean, this is a team effort. These things are not easy. I know we're tough on them, but they got the job done. They win 3-2 over the White Sox. And this is exciting. Obviously, we know this is a good team. We know they're capable of going and winning the World Series. There's a couple things that we're concerned about, but who isn't concerned about a few facets of their team? Their bullpen is coming together. Their starting pitching, I think it's weird to say it's underrated, but with Heel, Schlittler, Rodon, and Fried, this is a very formidable staff. Probably one of the best in the playoffs, in my opinion. If they get good starting pitching, they're going to be tough to beat, especially if they're hitting home runs. But there's a couple other things, the bullpen, base running, defense that, I think concern this bunch of people as we have like PTSD from last year. But they win 3-2 last night. Bullpen's great. Chisholm's awesome. Chisholm goes 3 for 3 with a walk, stolen base. Just a great day. I'm like so pumped that they're in, and I'm pumped that they're only one game back of the Jays, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm also pumped because we're finally getting the ABS challenge system, which is going to come to MLB full time next year, so we don't have to continue watching games with missed balls and strike calls that we as an audience can clearly see and the umpires can't. So that's going to be fantastic. It's going to reduce all the BS between the players and the umpires and managers. And yes, less people will be thrown out. Boone will not be thrown out as much, whether that's good or bad. I think that's up to the fan. But good win for the Yanks. And 2 more with the White Sox, then 3 with Baltimore. They can definitely take this division, 100%. And it's going to be exciting to see. Like I said, starting pitching is really coming together. Schlittler, I think, has the best stuff on the staff. Heel last night was fantastic. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts. Strikeout numbers aren't high, but his elite stuff and his command was excellent. His 90-mile-an-hour changeup, he was able to locate in the zone. His slider was absolutely unhittable at 86, 87. And then his four-seamer, 95, 96 up in the zone, really changing the eye level. He was really great. His stuff is obviously good, which we know, but his command and his mound presence looked probably the best I've seen in a long time. So that is very, very encouraging for this team and this starting staff. And if you're looking at it, you've Fried, Rodon, Schlittler, and Heel. So if you want to put Schlittler in the bullpen, you can. You want to start Heel, I would probably do that if it fit him in the middle. Or if you put Heel in the bullpen. I don't know if he has experience pitching out of the bullpen, but you could obviously put Schlittler in there, but you have 4 viable starters that you can pitch or use out of the bullpen or use in high-leverage situations. Obviously, Rodon, Fried, and probably Heel will be 0-3. But then using Schlittler if you need to in a long series, or use him in a high-leverage situation because he has elite stuff if you need to strike out. That is such a huge advantage for this team. And I feel like not many people are talking about how good their starting staff is. I mean, they're really, really good. You have Yarborough back, who can start, but he can also come out of the bullpen. Another lefty. Tim Hill pitched last night. He looked really good. His ERA is almost in the 2s. It's lowering every time. Weaver gets the hold. We know that this team can score runs. We know this team can out-homer the other team. But the starting pitching, which they did not necessarily have last year, I think could carry them very deep in the playoffs. I think what concerns me and everybody is base running and defense. And, let's get to it, the bullpen. Bullpen held last night again. So Fernando Cruz throws a scoreless inning. Tim Hill, 2/3 of an inning. And then Weaver gets the hold. He pitches an inning and a third, strikeout. No earned runs from the bullpen last night. I get it. I know it's the White Sox. But at the same time, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for confidence in these relievers. I'm looking for consistency. And sometimes it's not who you play, it's when you play them and who's clicking at the right time. Baseball's weird. That's why so many teams didn't add or do as much at the deadline, because if you just get in the playoffs, and that will continue to expand. Baseball's so weird. If you get a pitcher who's hot or a hitter who's just on fire for a couple weeks, that can carry you into the World Series. And I feel like the starting staff is really coming together, and I feel like this bullpen is solidifying. Weaver still makes me a little uneasy, but Cruz, Hill, and Bednar, who they didn't use last night, but is so nails at the end of the game. And I think he gives me the most confidence, obviously, out of anyone that they have. But to get him at the deadline was such a key move. I think it relieves so much stress off of Cruz and probably Weaver, too, knowing that he's not going to have to close games. If you need to use Devin Williams, let's cross our fingers. Knowing that he doesn't have to close games, Bednar is your guy, and guys knowing their roles helps in baseball. I think everyone just calms down a little bit, knows what to expect, and can prepare accordingly. And baseball is so ritualistic, routine-oriented, and having Bednar just slotted in to close games in the ninth, I think just relieves stress from the rest of that bullpen and just starts to give some structure. Because I think last year when Weaver was closing games, none of us really felt like he was the closer, even though he was. But I think all of us can agree that Bednar definitely is a closer and has gotten out of huge jams and has made huge pitches when he's had to and gotten key saves and locked down some much-needed wins for this team. And I say that because they've won quite a few games since they've gotten Bednar. Blue Jays lose last night to the Red Sox 4-1. If you look at the standings right now, and I am, Yankees are one game back of the Jays for the AL East division title. One game. They have to make up one game in the next 5 games. They have 5 games to make up one game. And again, the Jays play the Red Sox, who desperately need these games, and they played like it last night. And then they play the Rays. We have 2 more with the White Sox, and then 3 more with Baltimore. The Yankees can win this division. Should win this division, and I think they can, and I think they will. Everything seems to be really coming into place for this team. And then last night also, no errors. A clean game from this team. That it's just really, really good to see. Good base running, no errors. I'm excited. Game 2 of the 3-game set against the White Sox tonight. We'll be watching that. I'll be here to recap that for you tomorrow. And I will also definitely be watching the Blue Jays Red Sox series very closely. This has been your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Join me through October, which hopefully will be a long run. Yankees clinch in the playoffs, looking to take the AL East division fairly soon. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.